I began playing Irish harp in 1992. I had found one in a pawn shop on Ben White. It's still there, in fact. And I was not intending to. It was in the window, and some friends of mine we were all driving past on a Saturday afternoon, and we didn't have anything better to do. We'd never seen a harp in a pawn shop window before, so we thought we would just go in and play with it. And when my turn came, I was able to pluck out a tune, really, very simply. And it was one that I was familiar with because I enjoyed playing and listening to Irish music, and so it was a tune that I was familiar with. And I didn't have it very well, but I was able to pluck it out with just one finger on this harp. And what I remember is the feeling of chills and goosebumps and the clear thought in my head that this is what I am meant to be doing. This is my calling. In truth, I don't have Irish heritage at all. Okay. My family came from Spain and Lebanon and Hungary. I say very commonly that my heart is Irish if my blood is not. I participate in this cultural tradition because it calls to me. It is where I feel joy and connection. And so it's not genetic at all. It is a culture that I admire and respect and want to express to everybody around me, to know the beauty of the Irish musical tradition and the storytelling and the language, all of it. In the tradition of the ancient harpers, they were said to have tunes for laughter and for tears and for sleep, different genres of music, and they had tunes that illustrated each of those. And so I want to keep that very firmly in mind, even as a modern harper. Music is there to express those emotions that are too big for words sometimes, or just to remove us from our ordinary schedule, routine, thoughts, and to take us to a different place for a short time.
This is one of our own. This is a City of Austin employee and artist. Please welcome Thomas Grauzer to the stage. So I'm going to share a little bit about our artist. Mr. Thomas Doc Grauzer is a harper and storyteller of the Irish tradition, including in his repertoire a wide variety of Irish and Scottish harp tunes that originate from the Middle Ages through the modern day. For 22 years, he has performed 3 days a week at Mother's Cafe and Garden, although it closed during the pandemic, but he still finds time to perform 3 times a week. Wow, amazing. These days, he can be found performing for Sunday brunch at B.D. Riley's Irish Pub at Mueller, or at the Irish Tune Sessions at B.D. Riley's Irish Pub and at Lockhart's Arts and Club Cafe. So please join me in welcoming Thomas Grauzer.
I am a traditional Irish harper, and so welcome here. Good afternoon, and thank you. I'll start off with a tune from the 16th century by the Irish harper and composer Rory Gall. That is Blind Rory is his name. And so the tune is called Tuairdum de Love, that is Give Me Your Hand. Gurmahagov. Thank you, everyone. This is a tune written by my favorite Irish harper composer, Turlough O'Carolan. He died in 1738, but before he did, wrote probably a couple of thousand harp tunes during the course of his life. And this was actually the subject of the first song that he ever wrote. So there are words to it, but they're in Irish, and I don't sing them, but it's a story about a local legend in County Roscommon, which is in the north and west of Ireland. And there were two mountains in the area that were said to have fairy kingdoms that lived under them. And where the fairy folk are concerned, it's probably best for mortals to just keep their distance. But the legend was that the fairy court that lived under the small fairy hill, the queen of that fairy court got jealousy on her of the queen of the big fairy court. And so they went to war for no other reason than that, near as we can tell. A great war was started between the fairy armies of both of these, and it came to a complete stalemate. Neither one was able to gain the upper hand until the invasion of yet a third fairy host that came from elsewhere. We don't know where or why. And the first two had to get into an uneasy alliance with each other in order to defend themselves against the new incursion. So this is the song about that local legend, and it's called She Begus She More. That just means the little fairy hill and the big fairy hill. Gormahagav Gagdina, Goramil Mahagav Ageshtacht, and thank you for listening today.
Thank you. Thank you. How incredible. That was so relaxing. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I have a special proclamation to present today. Be it known that whereas the city of Austin is blessed with many creative musicians whose talents extend to virtually every musical genre, and whereas our music scene thrives because Austin audiences support good music produced by legends, our local favorites, and newcomers alike, and whereas we are pleased to showcase and support our local artists, and Side note, also a District 2 resident. Now, therefore, I, Vanessa Fuentes, Austin City Councilwoman, alongside City Councilmember Chito Vela, on behalf of Kirk Watson, Mayor of the Live Music Capital, do hereby proclaim September 14th, 2023 as Thomas Grauzer Day.
I was delighted to perform for the live music portion of the City Council meeting today. I am delighted to have a proclamation that declares it Thomas Grauzer Day, that feels like the recognition of my city, of the worth of its musical performers. It feels like the city takes seriously that it is, in fact, the live music capital of the world, because the city, for decades now, has showcased its best musicians and brought them to the wider audience of the city and even the world, considering that these are all archived. Anybody can see them now. I appreciate the respect that my city gives to me and musicians like me. I played for a city council meeting in 1995, so that was the first Doc Grauzer Day. I believe it was June of 1995, and I played in the old City Hall back then. And I don't remember very much of it, except Mayor Bruce Todd and Council Member Jackie Goodman, who were in the chamber to introduce me. It was near the very beginning of my career. I'd been playing about 3 years at all back then. And now I've been playing for over 30. And so I feel much more confident, and I know people in the building now. And so again, these are people that I have worked with, and I'm proud to have made them smile today.